I remember when Silas was a little boy, he's probably 4 years old, 5 years old. We're going to school one day. I'm taking him to school, and I look over the car next to me, and the person is driving like this. And I thought, well, that's not right. So I hit my brakes, slowed down, wanted to get behind them because I didn't want to be in front of them or to the side of them. And I noticed they're all over the road. And so I call 911, and the police are on their way. And finally, the car kind of pulls over into a parking lot, and I pull over, and I jump out, and I run up, and the person's having a major medical emergency. And I get the car and park, and the police show up, and the ambulance shows up, and they take the person to the hospital. So I take Silas to school. I'm there at work all day. I get home from the end of the workday. I go pick Silas up from school. And as we're picking up from school, we're headed home. I see chaos kind of up in the road in front of me. And as I look at what's going on, you can see a kid on a bike in the ditch, and this car just takes off. And I realize this car has hit this kid in the bike. And a couple of people had stopped. And I just rolled out my window. I said, hey, y'all got him? And they said, yeah, we got him. And I whipped my car around, and I started chasing the guy who had done the hit and run. And then Silas from the back seat goes, who we chasing now, Daddy? And sure enough, I got the license. I called 911. That person got arrested. And I got home that night, and I was telling Jenny the story. And Jenny goes, who are you? You see, I'm this very laid-back, kind of passive guy, and I don't like to get involved in things. But for 15 years, I had worked with a friend of mine named Matt. And Matt is a take-charge kind of guy. He's the kind of guy that we would be in his car driving down the road, and somebody would be on the side of the road. He'd pull over and ask him, how can he help him? A car wreck would happen. He would stop. He would get out and try to rescue people. You'd see a kid going down the road that just looked out of whack, and Matt would stop and say, where are your parents going on? And for 15 years, I was with him as he would take aggressive measures that I would never take. And that so rubbed off on me that it got to the point where I'm in the car, Matt is not there, and I start acting like Matt. Now, did my personality change? No. Did my temperament change? No. Did who I am change? No. But Matt discipled me. He influenced me, which grew me, which matured me, which now changed me, which means whenever we're around people who are different than we are, we can learn from them. Whenever we respect them, we can grow from them. We become different people. It doesn't change who we are. It doesn't change our personality or our temperament, but we become more equipped. This is the beauty of this place. This is what we get to accomplish. Imagine having the passion and the vision of Ray. Imagine having the compassion and the wisdom of Kurt. Imagine having the winsomeness and the leadership of Andrew. Imagine getting the markiness of Mark. Imagine what can actually take place here to have spiritual eyes like Lisa, the humility of a Colton, the worship leadership of a Corbin, and they begin to mix together, and there are things that they do that I can't do, and I stand back and I praise them, and I get to celebrate with them. There are other things that they get to do that begin to rub off of me, and I grow, and I mature, and I develop, and I become closer like Christ because of people who are different like me. The more monolithic your community is, the more closed-minded and ignorant you're going to be. But the greater and the more different your community is, the more you expand and grow and know and understand and have empathy and compassion. It is our differences in which the potentials of our marriages last. That's the possibility of where we are. And the very thing that you think is killing you today is your greatest opportunity. But it becomes as we find these unifying similarities. And it starts at the cross of Jesus Christ. For we all stand in need of him. And as I recognize my need, anybody that comes alongside of me recognizing their need, dependent upon Jesus, we are now brothers and sisters.